Drew Yorke Show, live from ISO Radio in Toronto. I have a very special guest today, HOLLYWOODSOS. Please come and join me in the couch here. Thanks for doing this today, man.
Fine, thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Word. A little closer.
Yeah. It's funny. Everybody I asked leading up to this,
Yeah.
I was asking whether it was like the guys over at Post Office. I was asking the guys like John the Barber was telling me. He's like, everybody was telling me like what I had to ask you first is like, how many times growing up did people tell you that your family needs to make like a family band or like that you needed to like get all of them? Because even I was just asking your brother like you said only one sibling is like not like musical out of all of them.
Yeah, my older sister. Yeah, my older sister. But like when it comes to like voice projection, she's probably better than all of us. Like it was crazy, but she just doesn't, she doesn't sing. But you know what it is? We always get that. And then it's just like, cause you guys are just like the Jackson 5. Like, you know what I mean? But I never liked that comparison because it's like, really, who's Tito? Like, you dig what I'm saying? So, I get it and I appreciate it for sure.
Do you remember how early music was like a big part of your life? Like, I know that's like something we have in common. It probably must have been from like super early on.
Yeah, absolutely. My father and my mother, they both sang and played instruments and whatnot. You know what I mean? So it's like music is just always a part of like our family and our upbringing. I remember the way my father woke us up going to school in the morning because it was 6 of us. You know what I mean? So we would just hear music in the morning. And that's how you got up in the morning. Like, and it wasn't like rock music gets you up. It was just like, obviously he was a minister. They were both ministers, so you know it was a lot of gospel, but a lot of jazz, a lot of funk. You know what I mean? But yeah, that was our fit. Like we're just music. You know what I mean?
And like more than just like hearing it or whatever, you were seeing them do it.
Absolutely.
So you knew from like early on that was like something that you could like
yeah.
People growing up like listening to music that don't necessarily see it, don't necessarily grasp that as something that they can like put a lot of time into or like develop as a real skill or develop as something like useful.
I don't know, but you know what? I mean, and this is like, I don't know, this might be a little strange, but like all my black people are gonna feel me. I just felt all black people could sing. And then I grew up and I realized that's not true. Like, you know what I'm saying? But at the same point, like, I don't know. I just felt it was just always a part of life. Like, you know what I mean? And like now, I guess looking back on it in hindsight, you know, like I realize I'm blessed, like, you know what I mean, to have the abilities and the skills that I have, and then also be a part of this, you know, fraternity, this family of guys and females, you know what I'm saying, who also share that same talent and you know what I mean, are really good at what they do.
Can you just run for me like what's the order? Is it are your sister's the oldest?
My sister's the oldest. Then it's me. Then I got my younger sister, Destiny. Then I have my younger brother after that, Yoko. And then we have my younger brother, Wolf. And then under that, it's Tory. And then my mom passed a few years back. And then my dad remarried, and then he had 2 more. So then we had, so it's like 8 of us now.
Wow.
Like, you know what I mean? So, yeah, but then there's 1 more boy and 1 more girl. Yeah, so and then that's all of us.
Yoko shit is fire. I didn't even know like that was how I got introduced to his music because I was sort of asking about this interview, asking people, and then I went over to Post Office and they started playing this music and they're like, yeah, like he has another brother too.
Yeah,
they're showing me all this shit and I'm like,
yeah,
bro, it never ends.
Absolutely.
That's so funny.
Keep going.
Could you list off? I knew you like moved around a lot.
Yeah.
Like growing up.
Yeah.
And that was like due to your parents' work.
Yeah.
Can you tell me? Can you list off like the number of places that you moved before coming back
to Toronto? Oh.
Because were you born here?
Yeah, I was born in Toronto. I believe Mount Sinai Hospital, if I'm not mistaken. Like, you know what I'm saying? But
shout out Mount Sinai Hospital.
Shout out Mount Sinai Hospital. Y'all doing great work.
We do a lot of shout outs on the show. You can just shout out as many people as you want. At any point.
At any point?
Yeah.
Well, for now, shout out Mount Sinai Hospital. You birthed the star. Keep it popping. You feel? I don't. Okay, when we left here, we moved to Orlando. Then I lived in Barbados, Orlando again, and then back up to Toronto, and then a large part out in Montreal. Like I did a large part of my growing up out in Montreal, and then little short stint back in Miami, Fort Lauderdale area, and then back to Toronto. Yeah,
That's a lot of moving around.
yeah, it's a lot of moving around.
That was between the ages of like what?
I would say like 6 to 25. Yeah. Yeah, just like a lot of moving around. But like because of what my dad did, like, you know what I mean, him being a minister and going to and fro and whatnot, it was a situation where like moving around is just something like I guess I'm just used to. Like, you know what I mean? I think we're all kind of just used to, and not just living in different places, but just always being on the move. Like, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
It's funny, you were talking just before about how like the music you make sort of is pretty diverse in sound. Like you can never like predict like whatever the next like vibe you're gonna catch to make the next like whatever it could be. You know what I mean? It's funny that probably like, as much as that comes from probably living in Toronto, that probably comes from like seeing a whole variety of different places like throughout your first 20 years or whatever.
Absolutely. My father, I give it a lot to my dad. My dad is an extremely cultured individual. Like, you know what I mean? And him being like that, I think he always he made that impression on us. Like, you know what I mean? And kind of brought us up like that to where we kind of knew that the world was bigger than North America. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
'Cause it's like you're young and you hear my dad's just like, yo, well, I'm going to Africa. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Like, you dig what I'm saying? So it's just like, okay, cool. Like, you know, but it was normal. Like, you dig what I'm saying? So it's just like, yeah, the world's a big place and you want to see it. You know what I'm saying? You got to see it at one point. Like,
Yeah, it's funny because at the time I'm sure that was I mean, you may say it wasn't weird, but I'm sure that that's like sort of disruptive at the time, but it's like a valuable outlook on life now.
Absolutely. Especially when you meet people at the opposite end of the spectrum and they tell you, I've never left my block. Like, you know what I'm saying? And you're just like, well, shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a huge world out there and you need to see it. Like, you know what I mean? Regardless if you have the time of your life where you only make it home with your slippers. Like, you dig what I'm saying? Go out and see the world. Like, you know what I mean? See how the story.
That's funny. Do you remember when you started... Actually, and a question I always ask people is when they remember when the music actually like sounded good. Because I remember you probably made music for a while.
Yeah.
But there's one time where people are going like, "Yo, like, nice."
Yeah.
Do you remember when that was?
Wow. I don't know. It was. I've always had my sound. I've always sounded like me, but I think it's only been recent where, because people always compliment you on your talent and your ability and tell you, you're supposed to do this and you're supposed to do that and whatever have you. And I've had people tell me that my whole life, like, you know what I mean. But I put it this way: with Tory, I remember. Like, I rocked with Tory, obviously. I rocked with Tory since, you know what I mean? He started making what he making. And everything that he ever made was hot to me. Like, you dig what I'm saying? Just because it's home team and everything that you make is hot.
Nothing was trash.
Nothing was trash. No, but feel me. Nothing was trash. Like, you dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Until he made Godfather. When he made Godfather, it was a thing where I could put you in the rotation that I got Jay and them niggas in. Like, you dig what I'm saying? And not just to make, like, a Jay comparison, but just to say that, like, let's say I have a playlist of, like, music that I'm going to play, like, whether it's in the gym or I'm rolling or whatever, you know what I mean, on a regular day-to-day basis. Because when you support your friends, you listen to their music, but you listen to their music knowing that it's your friend and you're supporting.
Sometimes you can't, like, put it on, like, the playlist, because if it just, like, comes up and everybody's like...
you know what I'm saying? It's not industry standard. When it comes to the mix, you can barely hear them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, it sounds different. It sticks out like a sore thumb. But I remember when when he dropped that, and it was just like, okay, not only you're not doing anything that anybody else is doing, you got your own sound right now, and you're going full force with it. So yeah, I mean, like, with the project I have out right now, I think that just shows my musical ability. But with my upcoming project, like, yeah, like I know, I'm the nicest in the world. I've always been the nicest in the world. But like with this next one, like, you're gonna see it for sure, 100%.
It's funny. I get this vibe that you've sort of like always been on this like star like vibe, because like even the name, like your like old rap name, like Sos Couture.
Yeah.
Like even that's like this, like, you know, that's like, yo, like I'm not, you know what I mean? It's like it's like a flex in itself, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Where'd you know where you get that attitude from?
I've always been a beautiful person. I've always been a snazzy individual. Like, you know? So, I mean, no, but you know what it is? You know what I've come to realize, just like what you're doing right now? People find it funny. When you sit there and it's like hilarious almost. Like, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, like, I don't in any way talk about myself to put anybody else down or make anybody else feel like, you know, less than me. I honestly do it because it's just like, listen to this guy. Like, really? Like, is this really what he's sitting here and saying? But yeah, you're damn right. Like, you know what I'm saying? When I was headed out of heaven, walking out, God said, come back, hit me on the top of the head, and then I popped out, okay? I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying? That's it. And it's just a good time, really. That's all. That's all it is.
That's funny. No, I immediately, even when I just started like doing a little bit of digging, I immediately got that vibe. Like, oh, you know what video I saw? Do you remember that like submission video you did for that like rap?
I'm trying to get in contact with YouTube as we speak. As we speak.
You can hear the same attitude. You know, you can hear that like, because I'm nice.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, somebody had a bright idea to come up with a "So You Think You Can Rap Canada," and you know, when "So You Think You Can sing" or whatever have you, you know, it was really doing his thing, and they had to do a submission, whatever. So I was just like, yeah, but that's my approach to everything, and I think that comes from like because I have a top 5 that I feel that nobody's because of the points I have. You cannot argue with me, and I'll sit here and I'll roll up and we'll debate that all fucking night. Like, you feel what I'm saying? But then I have a top 5 that is just like, I don't care what you think. This is my top 5. Like, you dig what I'm saying? But it consists of, in both my top 5, it consists of guys like Big and Jay and Cam. Like, you know what I mean? That are just like, I don't know. It's more smooth. Like, you know what I mean?
It was like 100% like swagger. 100%,
exactly. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, and that's
like even their pajamas, like they like, you know what
exactly.
I mean? Yeah.
Exactly.
That's funny. Can you take me back to the beginning of like sort of the Forever Umbrella, like One Umbrella days, like before the store?
Before the store.
Yeah, and like sort of it reflecting on that now.
You're out here giving Nardwar a run for his money with all this information. Okay.
Well, I just think that's funny because you look at Queen West now, and Queen West is like a little different than it was, you know, maybe let's say like 4 years ago, right?
That's real.
You know what I mean? I just think like
That's
what.
Real. That's real. You know what though? Yeah, Queen West. We were also like we were innovative, and we went out there and we were just. I call it the most successful popsicle stand that ever touched the face of the planet. Like, you know what I mean? Because we were just young guys that, you know, barely knew what they were doing, but we put it together, and I believe we made a long-lasting impression on that community. Like, you know what I mean, with that store. But I think it was also the fact that, you know what I mean, we were a part of this cast in this movie. Like, you know what I mean? There was like Come Down was running around doing their thing. Like, you know what I mean? You had mysterious gentlemen like John the Barber rolling around who were intriguing.
Shout out John the Barber.
Shout out John the Barber. Like, you dig what I'm saying? And like, and
he's an intriguing individual.
Exactly. Like, you know what I mean? You had guys like Norm. You know what I mean? Who was, you know, a comedian. And every time I see Norm, I just like I just laugh. Like, you know what I mean? And a whole host of other people, and I think we were just a part of that, like that cacophony of amazingness at that particular time. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But for the umbrella started by, you know, me and my brothers, and you know, one or two close family members and friends are the founding members of One Umbrella. And we all kind of came together knowing that we had skill and talent, and we also had a drive and a desire, you know, to be where Tory is right now, where I am right now. You know what I mean? Headed to that area and whatnot. So it's because we're all family and extremely close. Like all the founding members are you're either family or we've known you for like, you know, in a really long time. Like one guy other than our actual, you know, family is Jay, who's Tory's best friend, and you know that's a guy who, you know, wherever we live, he's gonna walk in and he's not gonna knock. And not because he's a rude guy in any way, shape, or form, but he's coming to family. Like, you know what I mean? That's the dynamic. Like, you know what I mean? So, yeah, it was just us just continually trying to do something, but always having, you know what I mean? Because when Tory got on, I was inside when Tory got on and whatnot, right? But I was hearing he was out there doing his thing from when I was inside, but he's always been like that constant reminder that it's possible. Like, you know what I mean? And that's why I always gotta kind of give it up to him, because it's like a situation where, you know, certain times you would feel that like it ain't gonna continue. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's not gonna happen, but he's like living proof, and you can call the living proof at any point in the day. Like, you know what I mean? And keep on going, keep trucking. Like, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
Was that motivating when you were away to like know that like things will keep moving and things were like still and like seeing and just hearing about his success?
Yeah. Well,
or did it kind of have like the
you know what?
opposite
When I
effect
was
as well?
away though, I can't give it to Tory when I was away, because Tory was still young and doing his thing. Like when I was away, it was my brothers like Wolf and Yoko. You know what I'm saying? Who I would talk to, and my father. Like, you know what I mean? And I remember Wolf came and checked me when I was in the Bingaling and told me, yo, listen, when you come out, we got something for you. Like, you know, it brought me to tears, like in the Bing. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Because I was just like, yo, like, you're in a hopeless and in a place of like disparity. I hope that's a real word, because I'm on a roll right now. So, you know what I mean? And you're in a place of hopelessness and disparity, and you're just like, fuck, you're dealing with guys who are just like, yo, when I come back out, we gonna hit the streets harder than I ever hit it before. Like, you know what I mean? I'm gonna make it snow in June. You know what I mean?
A total opposite
My
mindset.
real drug dealers will know what I mean when I say that. But no, just knowing that there was hope at the end of the tunnel, there was a light. Like, you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was the motivation. Like, you know what I mean? Knowing that I had a talent that everybody around me is telling me is, you could turn that into something, and knowing that there's an avenue to take it to when that was what it really was. You know what I'm saying? Real.
The project that you guys kind of slid onto streaming services and just kind of like put out there like quietly just for the
like
people
how
that
he
know.
did that.
Yeah. Well, just for the people that already knew, you know.
Shout out my manager Ty, number one manager in the business. First, I was doing Sauce Couture. You know what I'm saying? Because I liked it, but at the same point in time, it always reminded me of Mouse Couture for some reason. I don't know how, but every time I heard Sauce Couture, I heard Mouse Couture.
Bro, that's one of those things that if no one else hears it, and then you say it out loud, and then everybody else calls you Mouse.
Exactly. It's like one of those. Like, so I was just like, nah, like, you know what I mean? And then I remember I was having a conversation with Lanez's manager, and he was telling me that it was an SEO and nightmare. Like, you know what I mean? If you just call yourself Sauce on the internet, like, it's going to be fucking impossible for people to try to find you. It's going to take time for it to catch on. So I was just like, okay, let me keep it kind of moving. And I remember it was like 3-4 months, almost 5 months. I was just like, yo, what am I going to call myself? Like, you know what I mean? What is it going to be? And then I remember I was headed to Montreal on the train. Shout outs my scammers used to run the train tickets. It's popping. Yo. Right? And I was in the train and I was waiting for the train, right? And I don't know, it was crazy. I just came to me. It was just like Hollywood Sos. And I can't lie to you. When I said Hollywood Sos, immediately I heard Andre 3000 in my head saying, yo, who really wanted with Hollywood Cold? You remember that? Off of I forget what they call that one, right? But yeah. And then it was like the skies parted and that's what it was supposed to be. And I think, I don't know, with my attitude and with the various business endeavors and things that I choose to kind of gear my strength in my direction to, it's all show business. Like, you know what I mean? I heard when I was young that when you do something that you love, it doesn't feel like work, which is the opposite, which is the absolute truth, rather. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like when you really pick something that, you know what I mean, one, you have a talent and you have a skill for it, it doesn't feel like work when you have to go and research on it and spend countless hours and stay up till 6 a.m. because it's just like, yo, I love this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can sit. I think a lot of people would get cheesed, honestly, at me at times because I can sit for like 3 or 4 hours and watch, you know, The Breakfast Club and drink champs, you know what I mean, and shit like that. And depending on who's on it, get a wealth of information and get more out of what it is that I'm seeing than the regular person will, but it's because this is what my life is geared to. Like, you know what I mean? The things that I'm looking for, not the things that you're looking for. Like, you know what I mean? When it comes to the tricks of the trade, not you in specific, just saying somebody else who this might not be their thing. Like, you know what I mean? So, like, I'm pretty sure you think Barbara Walters is cool. No? Shout out to Barbara Walters.
I mean, this is why I do this, you know. It's because I just think it's like everybody has something to offer. Like everybody, you can always learn something from everybody.
Amazing.
And you can always learn more. And there's always something else you can add to your palette or something else you can add to your whatever, you know.
Amazing. Yeah, and you know, like, just like, and you're good at asking questions. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not. This is like a conversation that's like continual. You know what I mean? It's not like, so what kind of cereal do you like? You know what I mean? It's just like,
what cereal do you like?
Well, honest. Okay.
Shout out to Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Okay. I respect that. I'm gonna respect that. I'm gonna shout out Cheerios just because as a child I did Cheerios, but I watched What the Health, and milk is referred to in What the Health as coagulated cow pus.
I'm familiar.
I'm slowly moving away from milk. Like, honestly, I'm down with soy now. Down with soy milk. Shout out to Starbucks. Americano Misto, soy milk, 2 honeys, 1 brown packet. You right. You feel me? All right. Like,
that's the Hollywood and Hollywood Sos right there.
I try. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like, nah, like, I don't know. Milk. So yeah, but I can't just do like an almond or a soy milk with like cereal. It's just not right. Like, yeah. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm not really on cereal right now. Me and cereal got beef, but yeah.
Good. Well, see, that's why I didn't ask the question to start with. There you go.
Word. Yeah.
Maybe tell me about what this year looks like for you, because I mean, the way that Ty made it sound is like you're trying to like, you know, make it like go time this year. You're like really trying to like.
Yeah. I mean, not for nothing. It's just a lot of the work that I put in up until this point is just all kind of coming together. You know what I mean? And it's making for a star-studded occasion, like, you know. So, yeah, we got the album dropping. The album's most likely gonna drop in the fall, but I got some singles that I'm gonna drop top of the summer and all throughout the summer. Like, honestly, the summer's ours. I really want to see. No. I'm telling you this. I want to see any other crew, label, whatever have you, organization, whatever's popping, that's gonna drop as many hits as we dropped this summer. I'm dead ass.
Good.
Like, I'm dead ass. No,
yeah,
but
I'm excited.
You gave me
I'm excited.
Good,
good. I want to hear it.
I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
No. I need you to believe me. No, I feel you. But nah, for real. Like we just. I know we're really strong in what we did, what we're doing, and the work that we put in up until this point. So like, you know what I mean? It's a lot of good foundation in there. Like,
And more traveling.
yeah, I live on planes now. Like, you know what I mean?
Okay.
No, not even. You know what it is? I can't travel to the States right now. Yo, shout outs to the judicial system. Yo,
There you go.
No,
That's the shout out there.
But as soon as like, but I'm cleared up this year to go. Like, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So that's all. But in staying here, I'm trying to just get the most out of what I can as far as just Canada is concerned, and in having And it's crazy. I got to bring it up. Like, shout out my man, God bless his life, Dre, who had passed. He told me before his passed, like the year before he passed, he kept on telling me, he was just like, which was my best friend. He kept telling me, yo, you need to like explore Canada. You need to just be in, you need to be like, yo, Calgary and Edmonton and Saskatchewan. And I'm like, my nigga, you're crazy. Like, you dig what I'm saying? Why do I want to be in middle Canada right now? Like, you know what I mean? But, being able to do that and being able to see just like Canada as a whole, like us as a culture of people, like we're an amazing set of people. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We all like, we kind of all share the same similar values, and because we are, you know, for the most part, like, or most of us come from like other places, like our parents and stuff like that. It's like, so we have these cultural backgrounds that we can kind of, you know, take and give to each other and stuff like that. So it's really dope when you go out there and you really see what's out there. Like, you know what I mean? Word.
Okay. I usually sign these off with having somebody give me 2 off the top food spots they need to like recommend.
Off top food
Yeah.
spots. That
2.
I'm gonna keep it funky. You need to go to the Portuguese spot on Lansdowne and fuck. I feel bad, yo, cause I don't know the exact location.
You can range check. You can tell me later.
Yeah, for sure. But it's popping. Get yourself the half a chicken dinner. You know what I'm saying? They gonna potato you up. You gonna get the rice. You feel what I'm saying? It's all gonna be for $10, and you gonna be good. You know what I mean? I'm gonna give you 3 spots. You feel? Because people like to come up here and act Hasidity. You feel me? And try to give you these, oh, SDK, oh, Roof Chris. I've been there. I've done it. Okay? Right? No. If you're really hungry and you have barely any money, go right down to Spadina in the Chinese mall. Get yourself a $5 plate. They gonna hook it up. Now, MSG, rats in the rice, shit is crazy. But yo, but you know what I'm saying? And then I'm gonna take it home. It's a toss up between New Ho King. I take all my new hoes to New Ho. And the Red Room. The pad thai there is amazing.
All right. Okay. Thank you for doing this, man.
No problem, brother.
I
Thanks
appreciate
for having
it.
me.
Okay. Thank you for watching the Drew Yorke Show.
Shout out these hoes.
Thank you, brother. Absolutely. Thank you.